Hello and welcome to Community Conversations. I'm your host, KK Kaneshiro. For over 40 years, the Mission Valley Regional Occupational Program has worked to prepare students for successful careers in a variety of industries. Operating under the partnership with Fremont, New Haven, and Newark Unified School Districts, approximately 4,000 students participate in each year at MVROP's educational programs, receiving valuable career training for some of the most high-demand jobs in the country. And with us to discuss everything about MVROP has to offer is Superintendent Tom Hansen and Director of Educational Service, Dr. Cliff Adams-Hart. And of course, my favorite co-host, Dr. Jim Morris. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I appreciate it because I'm a big fan of you, because I told you earlier I grew up with my Concord Regional Occupational Program. But for anyone who's not familiar with MVRP, can you explain the history, how it got started, how it's been here for 40 years, and I don't think a lot of people know that. I think it's a big secret. So do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Thank you. Mission Valley ROP is it's its own school district. It exists based on an agreement that Fremont Unified, Newark Unified, and New Haven Unified School Districts made with each other to create a special school, school with a special focus of career technical education. So we operate in schools in all three of the districts, as well as at the center located at Blakeow and Stevenson.
Okay.
We focus on career sector-oriented coursework, not in every sector in the state. There's 15 sectors. We don't do ag and forestry, for example, but we do a variety of medical-related coursework, art, media, entertainment, culinary arts, hospitality, and so forth. So it's quite a large program and a focused program.
So how many students do you have?
Just under 4,000 in all three districts. Approximately 2,400 of those are Fremont Unified School District students.
Wow. So some of your teachers, they may teach at American High, or they may go to, Union City, and then they go back to the main office, which is on Stevenson and Blakeow. So the teachers are traveling throughout the day to do all these classes, or how does this work?
Some of them are. We have a few of them that do go from school to school, and then they're back at the center. We have a number of them that stay just at the center.
Okay.
And then we have a number of them that just stay at the school site their whole day.
Wow.
So we do have a few that travel between the schools, but most of them are going to be camped out either at a school site or at the center.
So you always have room at our schools here for one of their teachers to come and teach whatever course they're teaching, right?
Well, that's correct. And the really nice thing about the relationship is there are some specialized facilities at MVROP Center.
Right.
And those courses have to be held there. But when possible, there are also courses that are offered at all 6 in Fremont, our high school campuses.
Okay. That's great. Now, are all your students, all 4,000 of them, are they all high school age?
Just about every student enrolled is a 912 comprehensive high school student. We do service students at continuation schools. We do have a single adult course in pharmacy tech at the center, and a handful of adult enrollees that are in digital sound design and in refinishing in the auto program.
Okay. Now, if one of our, say, juniors is taking an ROP program at their own campus, is this in addition to their normal curriculum, or is this integrated into their grade, or how does this work?
Right. So a student may take a CTE course as part of their regular program at the school. So it would be one of their classes. If they're a student at Mission or Washington or American or Robertson, it would be one of their classes during the school day. We do have bus transportation to take students from their school if there is a specialized course that they need to travel to the ROP Center. So we have bus transportation that can transport students there and back to their school. Or there may be a class, a CTE course that's offered through ROP at their school site, and so they go to a room at Irvington High School or American High School for that course.
Well, this is great then. Their day's not expanded because they're involved with ROP.
Well, I think the other really exciting thing that Mission Valley ROP did is they've made a huge dollar investment in setting up some specialized facilities on our current campuses. So it really is a program that I think we really see as not just an ROP program, but it really is part of what regular high school students, I mean, you look at some of the really awesome facilities that have been built on our high school campuses through Mission Valley ROP. It's a partnership that's benefited all three of the school districts, not just Fremont, but also Newark and New Haven.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. When folks talk about college and career preparation, we realize that the opportunities are they're particular opportunities to build coursework items that they're elective in nature. They're within the school day, but they're not necessarily traditional trade training, which we still do. But what Dr. Morris is referring to is Project Lead the Way, STEM coursework. We have found ways that fit with what schools want, with what the demand students are showing us, where we can invest and make really nice facilities that we know are going to be heavily used, which promote the kinds of things that lead kids to high-wage, high-demand job opportunities.
Right.
So that's one example of making great partner decisions.
Now, New Haven and Newark and you and Tom, do you all meet like on a quarterly basis once a year to figure out what's working, what's not, or how does this work?
Well, because as Superintendent Hansen explained, Mission Valley ROP really is a separate school district. And so they have a governing board, just as we do in Fremont or New Haven or Newark, that are representative board members from each of the three school districts. And then there's regular communication between Mission Valley ROP staff and our principals at our schools, our director of secondary instruction. It's really a well-integrated program. It's not, even though it's separate and it is a separate school district,
it's a strong partnership.
It's a strong partnership, and it's just every one of our high school principals and administrators and counselors and teachers know what's happening at MVROP and what opportunities are there for our kids.
That's great. Now, you recently joined the school, right?
No, I've actually been with ROP for 15 years.
15 years?
But it's recent
They've
as the
hid
director.
you all this time?
I know, upstairs, back in some rooms. I've been up there for a long time.
Now, you have a fancy title, but what does it mean? What do you do?
Really, with the Director of Educational Services, I'm over the staff that is teaching, so our instructional staff, and the curriculum. And so we work with I'm the contact point with the principals and the instructors that are on the different sites and in our campus and oversee and make sure that the curriculum is what has to happen. Because we have CTE standards that are mandated by the state, and so the curriculum has to be very specific.
Right.
And so we make sure that curriculum is being taught the way the state says it needs to be taught.
Now, I think there's a misnomer out there. Some people may, I've heard, think some of your teachers are professionals who teach on the side. Do you want to speak to this?
There may be a few that still do that, but to have a CTE credential, you have to have industry experience.
Right.
And so, 99% of our instructors come out of industry and they're dedicated to teaching their craft to the students.
That's great. But they still have to be a full-fledged credentialed teacher.
Correct.
Okay, good. Now, what are some of your most popular classes? I mean, I can guess.
That's a hard question.
No, you go ahead.
I would say because every course we teach is it's scheduled and taught based on student demand.
Yeah.
The reason they're functioning in there is because they're popular. So students that are interested in public services, we opened a new course this year, Emergency Medical Responder.
Oh,
it
nice.
is an EMT type primer course. We essentially took the medical components out of the fire science technology course to make the fire course more of a pure fire training course. So we've expanded public services. Our advisors suggested that we do that, and we didn't know if we would have enough student interest to have full classes in both fire and the emergency medical responder. We did, and we suspect it will stay that way. They're popular for different reasons. But when you say what's most popular, students are taking what they want, and there's probably less influence from the educational management to decide what gets taught than certainly what kids ask for. So I would say what's there is what's popular. What isn't there is not as popular.
The classes in the fall are packed. I mean, we spend a lot of time trying to make sure that we have the students that want to be there in there, because the demand for the seat time is high. So that it's
right.
You know, the students, they walk and they know where they want to be.
Yeah.
And the really nice thing is taking an ROP class doesn't lock a student into a particular career pathway. It really gives them an opportunity to explore a fire science class or a culinary arts class or an architecture or engineering. It gives them an opportunity to have a little taste of that as a possible career pathway. Lots of young people don't know what they want to do, and it really helps them begin to figure that out in a way that's really fun, because often the Mission Valley ROP classes are hands-on, and the kids get to actually do. And you look at the construction and geometry work that's done, and these are really opportunities for young people to explore careers that maybe they'll be interested in and maybe they won't.
Yes.
I think one of my favorite example of Mission Valley RP was I was setting up for an event, but your forensic teacher was setting up a faux accident. So the kids Monday morning would have to come and they see the accident, and then they would have to investigate it, figure how the car flipped over, how fast it was going for the skid marks that he made, how the people were hurt, where they were thrown this way or thrown that way. I mean, I just love that. I wanted to take the class.
The kids love that too.
Yeah.
There are, our mission statement says we intend to supply industry experience, as close to industry experience for kids as possible. And that's in our art, media, entertainment sector, our medical sector, the building trades, the transportation cluster. Students get a whole lot of experience that just it's not available in the same way in a core dominated comprehensive program. And that's the high schools. The comprehensive high schools serve a critical needs in every content area, and we do kind of the backside of what isn't there any longer in most schools.
Just to feed off what Dr. Morris said, there was a comment that he made I think is important, is that not only do they explore the things they're interested in, there's a lot of times that a student will take a class and go, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Especially like in the medical class, all of a sudden they realize,
they didn't do this on TV.
Yeah, this is not ER, or this is not some of the scrubs. And then they realize, ooh, I don't like blood. Ooh, I don't like touching a patient. And they realize,
I had to put that needle where?
Yeah, exactly. All this time they were thinking they were going to be a doctor or a nurse, and then they come to realize, ooh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. This is not, what I see on Hollywood.
Which isn't a good education right
there.
That
is great. It saves them, probably time and money and,
It saves the parents 4 years worth of tuition on a career they're never going to have.
Exactly. So it's great.
Now, does this cost in addition to, is ROP a separate tuition, or how does this work?
No, it's we're funded through the JPA through our school, the 3 school districts, and so it's just part of the school day. There's no cost.
That's great, because I want our viewers to understand that this is it's not another tuition. It's not another fee that parents have to engage with.
Nope, not at all.
I think. What's your website? So if anyone's watching, they can go to your website and check out all the different courses.
www.mvrop.org.
Yeah, because I think they're going to be nicely surprised with what you offer. I mean, it's amazing. And also,
and many of the courses are designed to help students prepare for college.
Yes.
CTE courses aren't what folks may have thought from many years ago. This is really preparing students, I think, as Superintendent Hansen said, for high-paying careers and a chance to really explore some really wonderful opportunities. The other thing I think we need to point out is they have industry experts, advising on making sure that these classes are good quality classes that really are going to teach skills that will help young people become employable in the future.
This is great.
Yes. It's a lot of fun.
Now, is there any words of encouragement for any young person watching that they're on the fence?
I would encourage any elementary school student, any junior high school student.
Elementary?
Absolutely.
Really?
Career awareness is really where students start to think about their futures. What we are doing with high school students essentially is connecting dots to their future that they started sometime before we had a chance and an opportunity to meet them. So we are big proponents and advocates of students thinking about careers as early as possible, asking their parents, the folks in their community, anybody that they really have access to, what do you do? How do you do it? What's great about it? What would you change? Those kinds of ideas and vision building are very, very important. So when kids come to junior high, when they come to their core content, teachers hear all the time, when am I going to use this? Why are we doing this, teacher? Well, if students can get an idea that they're comfortable with earlier, they're much better raw material for themselves, for us, for their home schools, for their families. That's really where we would hope kids would start. So we serve ninth graders. That's the earliest we get a hold of students, but it's not inappropriate at all for fifth graders to go to our website and take a look at some of the videos and
or show up to the open house and
come to an open house.
They bring their brothers and sisters and they show them what they're doing in their classrooms, and now you got their fourth, fifth, sixth graders just going, I want to come here too.
Now, is RLP? Is it in every county? Because I know it's not in every city, but I mean, because you serve 3 cities.
Yes.
But are we lucky? I mean, where are we with this?
We are very lucky.
We are very lucky?
We are what is called a joint power authority.
Okay.
There are JPAs that do ROP. There's 27 in the state, but there are many areas that are county-run departments out of the county offices of education. In Alameda County, virtually every student in Alameda County is served by a JPA.
Wow.
Tri Valley ROP in Pleasanton, Livermore, Eden Area ROP in Hayward, Mission Valley ROP here in Fremont, Newark and Union City. Only the kids in the very north part of the county contract with Contra Costa County office, even though they're Alameda County students. So probably half the students in the state are served with CTE coursework, either from a district department or a department in the county office.
Wow.
So I would say we're very fortunate.
Yeah.
And I think one of the really nice advantages we have about being larger and the 3 districts coming together is the number of opportunities that there are there for students. They have an incredible array of opportunities to explore and to learn through Mission Valley ROP, and it is because we are larger, and the power of the 3 districts coming together, I think, has been a real advantage for us.
Now, for any student out there who's on campus, any of the 3 cities' campuses, and they've never heard of RLP, how do you get the word out to the students? How do you advertise to them?
Well, our instructors on the campuses are actually one of our biggest advertisers. Just before registration happens in the spring, we go to all the schools, and we have, tables set up and informational meetings. We have also career techs.
So they can talk to somebody.
Right.
Got it.
We have career techs that are actually on each school that also promote. We actually bring students from the schools to the center, January, February, March. So we bus them in and they can take a look at programs. We have the open house. flyers, just all sorts of things where we can let them know what is happening.
This is great.
One of the biggest ones is the students.
Yeah.
The students go back to their classrooms, and they're wearing their scrubs, or they're wearing their fire shirt, or their
oh my gosh, they get to wear that?
Yes. And so they go,
uniforms.
What class are you in? Well, I'm in medical assisting, and they go, whoa, you get to wear scrubs and carry a stethoscope.
How cool is that?
So that's one of our biggest, promotions. This word of mouth to students. You ask students at the beginning, who's heard of ROP?
Yeah.
And they'll all raise their hand. But, well, how did you hear it? Most of them will say because
my
friend took it, or my sister took it, or that kind of thing. So it's kind of cool.
This is great, and you've got a great building. I mean, you can't miss
Beautiful
it on Stevenson
facility.
Lakeout. Yeah.
Yes.
So, when did you become superintendent? That's only been a couple of years, right?
3 years
3
ago.
years? Okay.
Yes.
And
So
you
I've
must love
had
it.
a wonderful experience.
That's great.
I come from a comprehensive high school background, so for years we struggled with the opportunities that make school most interesting, which is a lot of the kinds of things that we can do in technical education.
Yeah.
So it's been quite a change for me and a lot of fun.
This is great. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate your help with this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for everything. And from everyone here at Community Conversations, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.